This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC 272. This is the full card betting breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and share the video as well. We'll start with the locks of the night. We'll work towards dogs, props, and finish it off with the parlays. Let's start it off first with these locks of the night. The first lock that I'm feeling a lot here is going to be Rafael dos Anjos. I think there's a high possibility that he beats Renato Moicano. Feel like we're going long here. Potential decision value for dos Anjos, minus 155 best value. I don't think that's a bad money line bet. I would push you towards money line. We don't have an unloaded list of props just yet. Check them out tomorrow on the money line or Friday on this weigh-in recap show coming up for this card. Right now, from what I see, though, dos Anjos wins by decision is plus 190, over 4.5, minus 105. I feel like we're probably going late in this fight. I see dos Anjos decision as the pick. I like the money line value more than anything here. If you're playing this one, I think you're on dos Anjos money line because it is close money, and you got to respect Moicano stepping in on short notice. I don't think he gets to win over Rafael dos Anjos. Now, the next lock of the night, I love Kevin Holland over Alex Cowboy Oliveira. I do think he wins this bout, potentially by a finish. Oliveira is a plus 284 dog. Holland, big favorite. Nearly minus 300 at best value. You can find it ranging in the 300s. I do think he definitely wins, though. These are a really hard matchup for an aging Oliveira. I like Holland's chances here. I feel like Holland gets it done second or third round by knockout. So if you did want to play a prop on this fight, I think I'll lean you towards Holland wins by KO TKO plus 165. I could see that method. Don't doubt the jiu-jitsu skills, though. If Holland hurts Oliveira, club and sub situation, Holland wins via submission, plus 950. Inside the distance, they already got it covered. It's at minus 110. But I do think he gets it done inside the distance. I actually think at minus 110, this is not a bad play. I like Kevin Holland for the win. Over-unders here, over 1.5, minus 145. I don't think is bad. Kevin Holland, Alex Oliveira, give me the Kevin Holland side. I think that he's a great lock of the night and definitely a parlay addition that we'll talk about at the end. The next lock of the night, Umar Nurmagomedov. There's really no value money line playing him. He's fighting Brian Kelleher, and he's a minus 650 favorite at best value. There's not a ton you can do there. Kelleher, opposite side, plus 530. I'm feeling like this is going to be a showcase performance for the Umar Nurmagomedov side. Nurmagomedov wins inside distance, plus 150. I will lean you towards that touch, but more so sub, it's plus 190. Just because the odds are so competitive between the two, I would rather play the Nurmagomedov inside the distance line, but it is hard for me to see him getting a finish off of Kelleher, anything other than a submission. I could see the fight going full distance, but I think Nurmagomedov is going to put a stamp on this one and really get his name circulating in this bantamweight division now with a win. I'm going Nurmagomedov. I like him by submission. I think plus 190 is great value for that. I do believe he can tap out Brian Kelleher. Thinking we'll see it potentially second or third, but that's a real Mystic Mac pick. Not necessarily loving the over-unders here. I would rather just play that prop submission, Umar Nurmagomedov, to get it done. The next of the locks of the night, this one is starting the night off. It's Dustin Jacoby, minus 188 ranging value money line over Michael Oleksiejczuk, plus 174. I like the Jacoby side. He's a rangy striker. He's a taller guy. I think that he's better technical boxing. His kicks are superior. And his range management is something that I really hold in high regard for the Jacoby side. I love him here. I do lean towards us probably going distance, but the way Oleksiejczuk fights, I could see Jacoby letting the hands fly and getting a stoppage win, though majority of recent bouts, Jacoby's winning these fights by decision. If you look towards Jacoby decision, it's plus 250. Maybe you're on Jacoby knockout. It's actually plus 175. I feel like this one is more of the money line touch for me. Method of victory, tricky on this one, really depends on what Oleksiejczuk is going to do offensively. If he shells up with Jacoby letting off strikes, I could see definitely decision. If he tries to go to war with Jacoby, I could see the stoppage. Jacek does hit hard, though. Of course, he has a puncher's chance in this fight. Jacoby win money line. That's what I like. Around minus 200, minus 195, down at minus 188, best value. Give me Jacoby as a fantastic lock of the night. And then the final true lock of the night, Tagir Ulanbekov. I think that he is a Dagestani that's being doubted by the bookies a bit, minus 210, plus 205 Tim Elliott. And I do understand why there's less hype on him. That Rodrigo Nascimento fight was extremely competitive. Styles make fights. Tim Elliott is not a guy from the bottom that's going to be throwing up submission attempts left and right. If Ulanbekov gets on top of Elliott, he will grind him out and wear on him. Minus 211, minus 210 value, I think is great for Tagir. I like him to win this fight. I do think we're going a bit longer here. I think decision would be the play if you're looking to prop him up. Ulanbekov wins by decision. Value of that sitting at plus 155. Over 2.5 rounds, around minus 145. I don't think that's bad. I like Ulanbekov for the win. I'm very confident with him. I'm excited to see him fight a guy at the level of Tim Elliott. We're going to find out a lot of things. Over 2.5 would be a play I like. I like Ulanbekov, potential money line or parlay addition. Decision prop is decent too. Tim Elliott, though, we have to mention, is always game. So you might be sweating a bit in this one, but I think the Ulanbekov side does come through as the winner. Now, looking at some of the other favorites on the card, I do have strong confidence in some, but I don't want to necessarily put them in as locks. Marina Rodriguez over Yan Xiaonan. I think Marina should definitely get the win. Minus 250 about best value for her to get that fight, winning it. Do I want to call her the lock? Reason no, is Yan is going to be a difficult stylistic matchup. She's a tough girl that can definitely strike. Rodriguez could find herself in trouble, but high confidence there towards the side of Marina Rodriguez. Mariah Agapova, I will call her my pseudo lock of the final honorable mentions here. The reason is Moreau's Ukrainian fighter right now. I believe she's going to show incredible heart here, and she definitely could pull off the upset. Agapova for the win, though, is the favor I go, and I do feel strong confidence towards her. So some honorable mention type locks here that I'm feeling. I do believe there's a lot of competitive fights on this card and dogs that are coming to bark. So let's jump to the dog section. If you haven't, smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe. The first dog of the night that I like, and people may disagree. I know some people are heavy on it as well. Plus 175, Greg Hardy over Sergey Spivak. Spivak is a minus 185 favorite, best value. Greg Hardy by knockout is the play all day. The value is too good. This guy is a pure first-round finisher, plus 300. Sergey Spivak has been knocked out in the first round before. Walt Harris stopped him in 50 seconds. Tom Aspinall just stopped him. I will tell you this. Look at Spivak's fight, even against Aleksei Oleinik. His stand-up game looked bad. He did not look good striking against Oleinik-level striking. If Greg Hardy can stop this fight from going to the floor, he will knock Sergey Spivak out. You look at the shots he landed off on Marcin Tybura. Most men would have fell. That's just Marcin Tybura's absolute insane toughness. Give me Hardy, give me knockout. I'm also going to be playing the first round prop by KO. Hardy wins, KO first round, plus 600. Play me on that one. If it starts going longer, maybe you're playing live. You could hedge it after we go to the second round, potentially, if Spivak survives. That's where I think he does his damage. If he gets on top of Greg Hardy, big trouble for Greg Hardy. But I'm going Hardy by knockout. I think it's worth the play definitely here. The next is going to be Jamie Malarkey. I love him as a dog. I'm really impressed by his style. Plus 138, minus 150, Jalen Turner, the opponent. Malarkey started training with Alexander Volkanovski. His game is turned way up, and I feel like his stand-up is very dangerous. Turner can be caught and hurt. I don't see Turner submitting Malarkey, which tends to be Turner's best aspect. He is a longer guy than Malarkey, but not by a ton. I like the Jamie Malarkey side. I think he's pulling off the upset. I think he's being slept on by the bookies. Give me the plus money line, nearly plus 140. I'm all over that. The Malarkey KO prop at plus 400, I am going to be sprinkling too. I really like this line. Give me Malarkey KO. I think that's a great one. I think fight does not go the distance here. Value of that is minus 210, so it's expected not to. Under 2.5, minus 155. I'm kind of feeling late first round or second round stoppage between these two. I think it's going to be a great fight, and I'm excited to see what both of them bring to the table in this matchup. That's a great dog. I love that dog. I'm loving the two dogs I've listed so far. This dog, I'm going to say I don't like as much. It's Nick Ngaramu versus Kennedy Zachuku. Ngaramu plus 125. Zachuku minus 132. It depends where you're at. It's going to range around there. Those are the best value odds you can find. If you're on the Ngaramu side, how does he get it done? Zachuku's not an easy guy to put away, though Daun Jung did do it. If we go the full 3, this is an odd matchup. Decision, I would lean it towards Ngaramu. Knockout, we've never seen Ngaramu put to sleep. Zachuku has knocked people out. Let's say Ngaramu gets the knockout, plus 500 for that. If you're on the Ngaramu wins by decision side, it's plus 350. Any prop you play on him is great value. The money line is plus 125, though. I don't hate a money line play. I kind of feel like it may surprise us and go a little longer, but it's really going to depend on what we get for Zachuku. It's dangerous betting the props, especially if you're betting going over in this one, like an over 1.5, which is minus 150. That's scary because if Zachuku doesn't show up and he starts extremely slow, I could see Ngaramu blasting him in the first round. Stylistic matchup is very interesting. I'm never super impressed with Zachuku's technical stand-up. Ngaramu is more of a banger, and I think that he's going to bang the chin of Kennedy Zachuku, potentially getting the knockout here. If Zachuku's chin holds up, though, it could go long. We'll see how this fight plays out, but give me the dog certainly here at plus 125. I like that a lot. Now, as far as some other underdogs that I will talk about, but not necessarily, true absolute dogs of the night, go play them, you have to talk about Jorge Masvidal. He's being slept on by the bookies, plus 280. This isn't a minus 300 to plus 200 dog type of fight, in my opinion. I think the odds should be much closer, but they have him wide. Jorge Masvidal to win by knockout, because that's how we'd get it done over Colby Covington, and it's definitely possible that he does. My pick is Colby Covington. Don't think it's changing, but we have to talk about Masvidal by knockout, the prop. Plus 400, Masvidal wins by KO. If you like that line, that might be something to potentially play. I felt like it was worth a mention. If the Colby side's winning, it's probably going longer. So depending where your bookie's at, maybe you can parlay Masvidal, and an under, or potentially Masvidal and knockout. But I know that not every bookie allows you to do such a thing. Looking through, is there any other true live dogs? I guess Edson Barboza, Bryce Mitchell. I'm picking the Mitchell side, but if they're standing up, Barboza has a serious chance to knock him out. He's a plus 148 underdog. Barboza wins by knockout is something I have to talk about as well. Barboza by KO plus 330. But I think Bryce Mitchell stylistically is a hard matchup. But I do think Barboza's a guy I got to give some respect to him and bring him up here on the line. It has to be talked about. And then Devontae Smith, Ludovic Klein is a tricky fight. Klein taken on short notice. If it was full camp, a little bit different. Smith side is the pick, but I want to note this. Ludovic Klein has the ability to knock out Smith if he touches that chin. Kama Worthy did it. Jamie Malarkey did it. It could happen from Klein, but I don't think it does. But I had to bring it up. It's plus 152 money line for the Klein side. And if you're like, give me Klein knockout, it's plus 320. That's pure value side of betting things, not feeling the ones that I didn't include as the dogs. Masvidal is the only one that I would really consider playing out of those honorable mentions for the dogs. Now, as far as some props that I think might have some value, I feel like first fight of the night, Jacoby Olekjachuk, the over 1.5 at minus 180, I think is worth a touch. I think that Jacoby can control the pace, keep it slower. I really lean him winning a decision. I don't know. I think Olekjachuk will have a hard time closing that distance. Looking at Barboza Mitchell, I think fight goes distance has high value here. Mitchell could lock up a sub. Barboza could get the knockout. But if you go fight goes distance, it's sitting around plus 130. If you look towards the women's bouts, of course, there's expectation. It could go a little longer. Marina Moroz, Mariah Agapova for fight over 2.5 is minus 180. Agapova could get it done with the hands, but I think Moroz will be game for the 3 rounds. I like that. If you find fight goes distance at minus 135, it's not a terrible play either, but the value isn't necessarily fantastic for some of these over-under type props. And there was one more that I wanted to mention and look at here. It's Marina Rodriguez, Yao Xiaonan. I think this fight is going the full distance here. Minus 215 fight goes distance, but the play would be Marina Rodriguez wins by decision. That's where I'm really going to push you guys here if you are playing it. Plus 115. I do think she gets it done by decision. I know it's not fantastic value back, but I think it's a high likelihood bet that comes through. Overall, the props you can play, there's endless amounts of options. I mean, I definitely feel like I have to bring up Devontae Smith, Ludovic Klein is the last one. Fight ends inside distance. Best value minus 175, but I'm seeing it more around that minus 210 range. So might not necessarily be worth a touch. Overall, some good props. We kind of went through them with the picks, but then I had to finish out with a little honorable mention props. Now let's jump to the parlays, because I know the people love the parlays. For me, it's definitely maybe the most exciting section to talk about. if I'm making a parlay for this card and I'm thinking I want 90% it's going to come through, these are the two fighters I am putting on it. It's Kevin Holland, and I'm putting him on it with Rafael dos Anjos, and you're getting plus 110 value depending on where you're at. Give me that line. I love it. If you're getting ballsy and you're like, listen, I want to play Kevin Holland, I want to play RDA, but I need another lock, not a dog, you want another lock. Plus 213, you add Dustin Jacoby. I do believe that one's going to come through for us. That's one that I'm playing myself, and I'm looking forward to playing it, honestly, because I think it's going to cash nicely. If you're like, man, I'm not feeling the Jacoby side early, you could also change it up, switch Jacoby with a dog, Greg Hardy, plus 460 for that one. I don't think that's a bad play at all. If you wanted then to still keep Jacoby in, add a dog, Jacoby, Holland, Hardy. That's a pretty good play. RDA, plus 745. I love that one. This will be like my Hail Mary that I'm actually feeling good about. Normally the Hail Marys are just shots in the dark, but I think this is a good Hail Mary at plus 745. You'd go Holland, Dos Anjos, Hardy, Jacoby. Give me that one. Now, if I really want to spice things up and add, I guess you could say, a little more to it, are you feeling Umar Nurmagomedov to give you 90 more plus money points? I guess 90 more points really here, plus 870. I like it. Add Umar. I think he's going to get the win. Ulanbekov, plus 1250 if you added Ulanbekov in. This is stretching, of course. The crazier we get, we can go nuts, and we think we're going to be millionaires by the end of the weekend, but there's definitely a chance one of those fighters can drop it. The safer one is definitely Dos Anjos and playing him with Kevin Holland. But if you like the Jacoby side, you also wanted to add in, Dos Anjos. So we'll go Dos Anjos, Jacoby, Holland, give me Greg Hardy, and then also give me Jamie Malarkey plus 1885. If you really want to attack with some dogs, if you're not really feeling Malarkey, I could see people liking adding in Marina Rodriguez. I think that might be a valuable play. You could also go towards the over 2.5 side with Marina Rodriguez, and you get plus 1,000. If you don't know about the winner there and your bookie allows you to, I would play over 2.5 because it's plus 1,000 money for that. Overall, I think there's some great parlays to be had here for this card. If you're like, listen, I just want to play dogs only, I don't even want to touch the favorites, you want pure value that could be all plus with, I guess, high risk, high reward, but just two fighter, Malarkey and Hardy. If the dogs come through, it's plus 535. I'd be wary of adding Ngaramu, but if you do add him, it's plus 1,300. That would be an all-dog parlay, which would be some real mystic max shit. If you're like, listen, give me Masvidal at the top, you're looking at plus 2,438. Malarkey, Hardy, Masvidal. If you're a wild man, maybe you're playing this one. Even you can take Malarkey out and you're still getting crazy plus money. You're getting plus 980 for Greg Hardy, Masvidal if you're going to main event only dog play. Yes, I'm picking the Colby side, but it's Jorge Masvidal. You got to give the man his due respect. Overall, I think those are some great potential bets to play. We'll talk more about the bets on the money line tomorrow with my man Mike Finch. Friday, I got the weigh-in recap show dropping, and then Saturday, I will be live for the full card. So tune into the Fight Companion. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications on. Make sure you smash that like button. Share the video if you really enjoyed the comment. Let me know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Did you enjoy the picks? Do you disagree with some? Let me know your bets as well, because I am definitely curious. Much love, my people, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.